like so many things that we learn, any knowledge or tool that we have, it's just a tool, right? Like it's not something that
Right.
if once we start worshiping that tool or maybe ascribing sacred value to it, as if it's flawless, then it really becomes and like we're the tool, I suppose. It's using us, sort of like our phones, right? These phones have so much knowledge at our fingertips, and so much that can help us expand our minds and connect us with others. And yet, if we're not aware that it's just a tool, it's like a shovel at the end of the
Just a
day.
tool. It's just a tool.
Yeah. How are we using that tool? That's the better question.
That's exactly right. It's not the map is not the territory.
The map is not the territory. That's well said. Yeah. Yeah. Well, for so many people, especially during this time, we're looking for maps for sure. We're looking for answers, and maybe more than ever during this time, people are dealing with grief, Michael. I think that's a big theme that I'm hearing, that it's, and we're not aware that we're dealing with grief. We get angry and we get into fights with other people. We get into a frenzy. We get paranoid about politics, and then we're not even realizing what's driving it, what's underneath it. We're sad about something. Maybe we've lost, whether it's an identity or we're afraid we're losing an identity or something, or certainly tangibly, people have lost economically. People have lost their health. So we need maps. Enneagram seems like a good place to start.
It certainly helps in the process of expanding your playing field. It's a tool to connect with other people in a deeper way, which I guess you could say is generally helpful.
You remind me of the Bill Moyers interview with Joseph Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. What a rich interview that is, where he talks about his legendary work with mythology and
Yes.
comparative mythology. Hero with 1,000 Faces. What a wonderful odyssey that is as well.
Moyers talked about working with Campbell, and apparently that wildly successful series of interviews was very difficult to cut, and they had a time picking out the juicy parts and making it coherent. As good as Campbell's, very interesting, and his books are very worthwhile. But I always like that kind of behind the scenes knowing.
Yeah, because Bill Moyers is so smooth and so
right. Love him.
Pulled it all together. But what was the thing that stood out to me? Oh, just the idea, and I wonder if you have a thought on this, that we've lost as a culture, especially as a Western culture, I'll say, as a modern Western culture in the information age. Let's just put all those qualifiers in there. Have we lost our sense of ritual and our sense of the mythology?
When life is about survival, it's harder to address meaning, which is what mythology gives us. There is a way that when we dismiss the larger life, we lose that aspect of our lives having meaning. It's certainly been harder as people are in survival mode to remember that we're magical beings.
Yeah, that's really well said. I mean, we have the magic of Disney, I suppose, and these Hollywood studios, because we're storytellers, aren't we? At our hearts, we're storytellers. We're meant to make sense of these puzzles.
That's right. We're meant to make sense of these puzzles. We're storytellers at heart, and we give meaning to our lives through our story.